welcome to episode 6 of the Pod Podcast, the world's greatest podcast. We have another fabulous episode today. We've got Joe from El Nacho. This is a really cool brand. It's a new up-and-coming brand of awesome tortilla chips. They're better than what's out there, and they're lighting the world on fire right now as an early stage brand. Want to hear this story? This is an interesting one. There's a neat backstory to the brand, and the brand itself is pretty cool. So, Joe, take it away. Let's hear about how this came to life and how you made this happen so far, and how you were crazy enough to start a tortilla chip brand in the market.
Hi, thanks, Peter. So the background of the tortilla chip company El Nacho is really a friendship that goes back about 25 years. My partners, Hugo and Toby, we've known each other. We used to work together many, many moons ago in restaurants, and our paths separated, and I went into the restaurant business and have since opened a bunch of upscale casual Mexican restaurants. They're called the Painted Burro in our area here in New England or Boston area, really. And we're always looking for a really good tortilla. And I always kept in touch with Hugo and Toby, kind of asking them about like, oh, maybe I want to do my own tortilla one day for the restaurant, or how do you do this? And they were always too busy, they were working and doing their thing. And over the pandemic, really, I reconnected with the two of them. We had a lot of downtime in the restaurant business. And we really looking for something to do that was going to be fun and unique, and something that we could get passionate about and want to do it in a way that was better than what we thought was being offered. And we decided to, start our own tortilla chip company. And it happened really organically. I mean, the conversations were really about like, okay, if we do this, what are we going to do? What are we going to do differently? And what do we want to stand for? And I think that was a big part of our mission, was like, who do we want to be as a company? I'm a family guy. Toby and Hugo are family guys. And, as you get older, you're looking for, better snacks for your kids, and you want them to snack healthy, and you want it to be unique. And we really want to create like a better for you brand of really snackable tortilla chips. And we introduced El Nacho, our main hero, our character, as being white corn tortilla chip, but really well executed. It's a very flaky chip, and like it's very craveable. It's strong enough to dip, but really almost flakes like a pastry. And we wanted to focus on really neat flavors that the kids would like. And I think that the kids had a lot of feedback when we were developing the chips. Diablo chip, for example, was, one of my sons like really likes spicy food, but can't really handle spicy food. They love the idea of eating really spicy food. Like, I did this, and what we did is, at the shows when we sample a chip, I always tell people it's baby spice. It's a spice that you can handle. It's a spice that's approachable, and it's a chip that you can just continue to eat and eat. And we found ourselves being this kind of unique flavor profile company. And the next flavor that we introduced was the mango chip. So Miss Mango was really the first time you've seen like mangoes in a tortilla chip, and the response to that was just like really incredible, and people were very receptive to that, and it was because it was unique. But I think the background in the restaurant industry, and having Mexican restaurants in particular, on like a high caliber style restaurant, we're drawing on a lot of influences from like our food and our cooking, and like flavor profiles that we put in our tacos and our enchiladas and our moles, and we have a lot of exciting flavors that we want to introduce in the future. So we came together with that, and then the packaging was really wanting to create something vibrant and fun and energetic, and something that kids would, say like, hey, that looks like a fun brand. Like, what's this all about? And we came up with El Nacho, who's our superhero, our character, and kind of stands for like, releasing your inner El Nacho, like what's your mask that you wear kind of like mentality.
Yeah.
And that brings in a lot of diversity and inclusion, like a luchador lifestyle. One of my sons identifies as a they, them. And we thought it was, I thought it was important to make our hero identify as an origin character as like a they, them, without really screaming that all over our branding. But it's like
Right.
that luchador lifestyle and culture really is an all-inclusive lifestyle. and we wanted that to be a big part of our brand. So as we're growing and evolving, we're very mindful of like that perspective that the customer has, and we wanted to introduce a very clean product. So like our product is, about as real deal as you can get. My partners Toby and Hugo, they grew up in Chihuahua, and grew up eating tortillas, going down to the tortilleria, and riding their bicycle down and getting their one little folded tortilla to eat on the way home. And we do the whole process. So it's nixtamalization. We're buying whole corn. We're cooking it with lime. We're grinding with volcanic stone. We're making tortillas, and that's really where Toby's magic comes in, because I think there are very few individuals in the world that have such a passion. Like Toby's the guy that is in the band, plays the guitar, sings, makes the tortillas. He's like the rock star guy. I'm the executive chef background, so it's like I'm pushing flavor profile and trying to stay organized. And Hugo is really I call him the dining room manager. He's the guy out in the stores and talking to the customers, and he puts the luchador mask on, and he's the champion. And I think it's important to have a lot of fun, and that's what we want to do with this brand, was just have a lot of fun and not be too serious, and be our own person. And again, it goes back to being a luchador and being your own person and identifying like however you want to identify, and snacking the way you want to snack. We've got some a really cool flavor coming out soon called pineapple barbecue, which is just like another kind of off the chart. Like you haven't seen a barbecue tortilla chip, I don't think. I haven't seen one. But it's everybody that's been testing it for us is just, they love it. And I think it fits into who we are, being very different, having a very super clean, unique product, something that is an alternative to I'll just say like a better for you Doritos, something that's like you can really snack on this. It's craveable, and it's all non-GMO, clean ingredients. But that's really
I was going to ask what the next character was going to be, because you've got everyone I've talked to about the Miss Mango, just they love where this is going. So I mean, you can probably riff on that forever and have all sorts of seasonal flavors.
Well, that's the whole idea is to have a scalable brand. So El Nacho was the original, right? So that was he's our hero character, the sea salt, and then along came the El Rudo Diablo spicy chip guy, and he was a bad guy turned good guy, kind of won over to the light, come to the light with El Nacho. And then Miss Mango grew up watching El Nacho and Diablo wrestle, and she was always a big fan of El Nacho, and she searches him out. And I like to collect comic books. I don't know if you can tell, like I'm very much into like the storyline. And then falls in love with El Nacho, and they create this beautiful mango style chip. And our new character coming out is called Yo Piña, like what a pineapple. He's like the little primo cousin character. And then we want to grow. So it's a salsa.
Novel, right?
And Miss Mango actually drives her Scooby-Doo van, right? She's got the old Impala lowrider. Right. All our characters.
You could have a whole graphic novel of all these characters with all this intrigue and a soap opera going on.
We really want to have a QR code on the back with a comic book, like in the future. That's something. I remember growing up as a kid going to Brigham's locally, and when I went to Brigham's to get the kids' meal was basically it was a hot dog, grilled cheese, and you get your little sundae. But the coolest thing was they gave you these tiny little comic books. And I remember that comic book, that little folding page comic book, more than I remember anything else going to Brigham's. Yeah. And I think
I used to buy Bazooka Joe.
For the little comic book inside. Yeah. And that's the nostalgia. So that's nostalgia, and that's like I think that's something that's really important. It's something that we wanted to connect to and like create our own nostalgia. And I think using something that's like you're combining the traditions of the past, the nixtamal, the process of nixtamalization, and how that evolved, and then taking like a storyline like luchadors, and then folding in a dedication and passion for cooking and evolving flavors, and then you're adding in family to that. That to me creates a lot of future nostalgia. Like you're building the foundation of this to be a very scalable brand, and something that like a big story that people will learn more about as the years go by.
What I liked about it as an observer was that it it is clean. It is a better for you product. It tastes good. It also is appealing to anyone. So this could work in a high-end specialty store, but it can also work in a conventional supermarket too. And we look for a lot of products like that because we want, I think what customers want is inclusivity, right? They want to eat well. It's at a reasonable price point. I think the Doritos comparison is great. I mean, if someone makes a healthy version of Cool Ranch, you got to have like a Cool Ranch character someday that's just like super cool, right? But clean.
Yeah.
That's all people want is just a clean.
El Ranchero.
Yeah, that's right. It could be El Ranchero. So where can people buy El Nacho? You guys are still early stage. I mean,
Yeah.
you're growing pretty well, but where are you available now? that people
We
can
just turned a
check out?
year old. We just turned a year old in this this past August, and regionally we're based out of Waltham, Massachusetts. So regionally we have a pretty decent presence here, and you can find us locally in these stores. We just started with Star. We're starting with Shaw's. Roach has been a great supporter of ours. Roach Brothers and Brothers Market. Donnellan supermarkets have been great for us. Crosby's, and then all the independents like Wilson's and Pemberton and Fruit Center has been incredible.
It's a smart way to
All
grow.
those really building that core customer, right? And then we started to branch out, with pods actually. Fresh Time, we're part of the innovation end caps there, and really looking forward to that growth. We're in the Bay Area in San Francisco. We have a distributor out there with Good Stuff Distribution. And we're starting to really now work on saturation of market, I think is important for us. I think we wanted to really spread out, but I think the key I'm finding is that, new to this CPG world is going into a region and be able to support that region with like merchandising and sampling. I think that's really critical. So we're very focused right now on the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic region and really building that core, foundation. And there's a lot of opportunities out there for us to grow, which we're excited about in the coming year. So I think by the end of 2025, we'll definitely be coast to coast in a lot more areas. We'll be a lot more saturated in the Northeast, and it's hard. We get a lot of emails from people that see us in locations, and they're like, "Where do we get your chips?" And we're not quite a D2C company because it's hard to ship chips, but we make that happen wherever we can.
Well, that's a good problem to have. If your biggest problem is figuring out how to meet overwhelming demand, then you're in a good spot. And I think you're doing a wise thing by building some density and not biting off more than you can chew along the way. But I hope we can work together in other regions and other accounts and help you grow along the way. It's a fun brand. It's a good quality product. I love it. And we recommend it to everybody that we talk to. So,
well, thank
congratulations so far. You've survived 1 year, so let's talk again in a year and see how far you've come. So.
That sounds amazing. Thank you, Peter.